A reading from the book of Acts, chapter 7, verses 17 to 43. Stephen continued, but as the time drew near for the fulfillment of the promise that God had made to Abraham, our people in Egypt increased and multiplied until another king who had not known Joseph ruled over Egypt. He dealt craftily with our race and forced our ancestors to abandon their infants so that they would die. At this time Moses was born, and he was beautiful before God. For 3 months he was brought up in his father's house, and when he was abandoned, Pharaoh's daughter adopted him and brought him up as her own son. So Moses was instructed in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and so powerful in his words and deeds. When he was 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his relatives and Israelites. When he saw one of them being wronged, he defended the oppressed man and avenged him by striking down the Egyptian. He supposed that his kinsfolk would understand that God, through him, was rescuing them, but they did not understand. The next day he came to some of them as they were quarrelling and tried to reconcile them, saying, "Men, you are brothers. Why do you do wrong to each other?" But the man who was wronging his neighbour pushed Moses aside, saying, "Who made you ruler and judge over us? Do you want to kill me as you killed the Egyptian yesterday?" When he heard this, Moses fled and became an alien resident in the land of Midian. There he became the father of 2 sons. Now when 40 years had passed, an angel appeared to him in the wilderness of Mount Sinai, in the flames of a burning bush. When Moses saw it, he was amazed at the sight, and as he approached to look, there came the voice of the Lord. "I am the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob." Moses began to tremble and did not dare to look. Then the Lord said to him, "Take off the sandals from your feet, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. I have surely seen the mistreatment of my people who are in Egypt, and have heard their groaning, and I have come to rescue them. Come now, I will send you to Egypt." It was this Moses whom they rejected when they said, "Who made you ruler and judge over us?" and whom God now sent as both ruler and liberator through the angel who appeared to him in the bush. He led them out, having performed wonders and signs in Egypt, at the Red Sea, and in the wilderness for 40 years. This is the Moses who said to the Israelites, God will raise up a prophet for you from your own people as he raised me up. He is the one who was in the congregation in the wilderness with the angel who spoke to him at Mount Sinai, and with our ancestors, and he received living oracles to give to us. Our ancestors were unwilling to obey him. Instead, they pushed him aside, and in their hearts they turned back to Egypt, saying to Aaron, "Make gods for us, who will lead the way for us." As for this Moses, who led us from the land of Egypt, we do not know what has happened to him. At that time they made a calf, offered a sacrifice to the idol, and reveled in the works of their hands. But God turned away from them and handed them over to worship the host of heaven, as is written in the book of the prophets. "Do you offer to me vain victims and sacrifices for 40 years in the wilderness, O house of Israel? No, you took among the tent of Moloch and the star of your god Rephan, the images that you made to worship, so I will remove you beyond Babylon." This concludes the reading. Thanks be to God. A few things to note about this reading. First of all, there's a lot of things that happen in 40. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights in Noah's day. Jesus was in the wilderness for was tested for 40 days, went without food for consumption of any sustaining food and water. And now Moses, once he had fled into Midian after killing the Egyptian, he stayed there for 40 years. And then, when instructed by the Lord, the Israelites fed off of manna in the wilderness for 40 years. So everything happens at 40, on the 41st, beginning of the 41st year. So, yeah, it looks like I've got something to look forward to, maybe.